Many industries and businesses have been closed because of COVID-19 pandemic. Many people struggling and facing any kind of problem, especially financial problem. They need to close their businesses for the safety of the community and their employees. Year 2020 financially was the greatest problem. The crisis, the problem of their businesses because of COVID-19 pandemic, many of them hanging by the thread. Many people struggling and finding solution on how they can be past the situation of facing right now. Where they can get an income again to go back to the normal, especially on their businesses. Jobs that affected by pandemic. Small businesses have to close partially to follow the rules of the government. Small businesses of the U.S. economy. Nearly a quarter remain closed. Economic impact COVID-19. Small businesses struggling to survive amid pandemic. Immigrant businesses owners were also disproportionately affected. The number of active owners remained low down. The partial rebounds were felt across all demographic groups and industries. These findings of early stage losses to small business activity have important implications for policy income, losses, and future economic inequality. Social distancing, restriction, and health economic driven demands shift from COVID-19.
The impact of COVID-19 on small business outcomes and expectations. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, many businesses have temporarily closed, especially small businesses and non-essential goods. The main reason is because of economic conditions, inability to generate profit or sales. Mostly, some people choose to buy online rather than in physical store for their fear of getting the virus and for their safety as well. To explore the impact of coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 in small businesses, they conducted a survey of more than 5,800 small businesses between March 28 and April 4, 2020. Several themes emerged. First, mass layoffs and closures had already occurred, just a few weeks into the crisis. Second, the risk of closure was negatively associated with the expected length of crisis. Moreover, businesses had widely varying beliefs about the likely duration of COVID-19 related disruptions. Third, many small businesses are financially fragile. The median businesses with more than $10,000 in monthly expenses had only about 2 weeks of cash on hand at the time of the survey. Fourth, the majority of businesses plan to seek funding through the Coronavirus Aid Relief, Economic and Security Act. However, many anticipated problems with accessing the program, such as bureaucratic hassles and difficulties establishing eligibility. This only shows the importance of well-designed and sustained economic and public health policy measures. If only the government began early actions to prevent the virus from entering our country, it is possible that our economic is still stable as it is.
Closing the sporadic spa service. As to what Mr. Andrew Pasaporti said, the co-founder of on-demand spa mobile app, closing a business may prove to be more expensive than opening one. Businesses worldwide have felt the stinging effects of the economic downturn left in the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak. Just like the sporadic, they are also impacted by the pandemic, and many of their partner providers have closed due to the lack of the business. Since spa services are not essential and their company relies only on those providers. But with so much uncertainty about what lies ahead and how long the situation will last, they don't have a choice but to close their business. We were excited about the new company that we didn't think of eventually closing, Mr. Passaporte added. From the start, we should have done some research on business closure. A rookie mistake. These are some of the things we need to consider in building a business. Think about the future of the business and how we should be flexible in every situation or challenge our business may encounter. Some business owners cope up with the new restrictions to avoid temporary closures and make up for some of the sales lost due to COVID-19, but some are unfortunate in handling their business. As Mr. Passaporte reflected, while we had to close, the business journey has been a great learning experience overall. It has inspired us to adopt a venture out to other businesses. So many small businesses have failed during the year of COVID because they don't have the determination to push through the struggle, the unknown, or the fear of failing or making a wrong decision. But in order to be truly successful, sometimes you have to close doors in order for new opportunities to present themselves. Accepting things that really aren't working out for you and be okay with change. Be okay with closing doors to let new opportunities come into your life.
My learning insight to the video I watched, because of pandemic, we have new normal. Many laid off. Many small industries closed around the world due to the coronavirus. Stores and factories and many other businesses have closed by Monday to slow down the spread of coronavirus. Many of these closures may be permanent because of the inability of owners to pay ongoing expenses and survive the shutdown. The impact on small businesses is likely to be severe. It has impact in the economy like airlines, imports and exports company, tourism, retailer, restaurant, and services habit. Many tried to adapt to this new normal by using social media to sell goods and items. By using mobile phones, laptops, and computer for work, and students for their online class.
Good afternoon, welcome to Newsline. This is Irene Ulila and today news headline is worker shortage. There are so many factors that can affect your business and one of these factors is worker shortage. This occurs in market economy when workers are more needed for a particular job and usually there is a greater demand for them compared to those workers who are most qualified for a job. Most businesses experiencing a shortage of workers. Some of these are public eateries and restaurants. The restaurant in West Jefferson, North Carolina, there is difficulty in their business due to lack of workers. The restaurant is forced to close earlier due to lack of staff. They apologize to their customers, but some of them are already losing their patience. You can see the regret of some of their customers in that situation because customers are demanding more for the services that the restaurant can offer. The manager explained well and said that they are understaffed and they are currently have 10 to 15 workers and that's half of their crew. We can see how important people or workers in running a business. What are those factors in financial risk that each businesses may face? In this time of global pandemic, there will be more complications, especially in having a job or occupation. There are some establishments that eventually close and went bankrupt. There are people who are looking for a new way to save their businesses, and most of them are looking for a new opportunities to have for their new business or income to start their life. The most important thing I've learned was our ability to change. It is necessary when it comes to dealing with our challenges and struggle in life. It is very important for us to know and understand the things and situations around us so that it will be more easier for us to deal with this. because we are not always ready for the things or situation that we are going through in life. Always look for the positive things we can do. Ignore those bad or negative side. Instead, use this as challenges for stepping ground and make things better than ever.
Good day everyone, my name is Josephine F. Olivaria from Entrep 2C, and for today I want to share my learning insight about the news of COVID-19 pandemic closed 30% of Philippines businesses as this situation is still hitting our country. The video watch talk about how does the pandemic affect the small businesses here in the Philippines. Based on what the Department of Trade and Industry, or the DTI, said, 3.5 million has already applied for micro SMEs. The video also discussed how the small businesses are still coping up because of the pandemic. Example businesses are the automotive that are the sales are currently down. And one of the best example for this is the transportation. The transportation is one of the mostly affected business since the pandemic came in our country. It caused the transport operators losing their jobs. Sector that are plus the other sectors that is closed for the meantime because of the pandemic. The estimated count of the businesses that closed in the meantime reached 30%, but not sure if they are fully closed or temporarily closed. And around 50% are partially operating and 20% for fully operating. The 50% partially operating can say that they are 90% now in their sales. A lot of businessmen loses in their business, but most of them still fighting and hoping for the better outcome of their business. Until now. As time passed by, as this pandemic is still going on, a lot of sectors in the businesses are allowed to open, and that gave them a chance to rise their business again. They allowed to open some of the services and manufacturing. And after that, they saw how does the sales of it goes up after the pandemic, since it was closed for a long time. As an entrepreneurship student, this video made a way to my mind and opened my eyes to the possibility of what may happen when you start a business. You can predict everything. Opening a business is a battle between yourself, of how you can handle taking some risks while you're in the middle of operating this. You can predict what may happen tomorrow or today. You may experience some ups and downs, but continuing this and having a courage is the best armor for every battle you may have in this field. Thank you.
Non-essential businesses but still operate will be forcibly closed due to the COVID-19. The DILG warned private companies and businesses that do not render essential services but continuing operate during the Luzon quarantine will be forcibly closed. In an interview in CNN Philippines, Interior and Local Government Undersecretary spokesperson Jonathan Malaya appealed to the private firms to suspend their operation starting Tuesday and not allow their employees to go to the work anymore, as the government tried to contain the spread of novel coronavirus disease or COVID-19 through the ECQ in the region. Malaya said, "Please do not let your employee go to the work today, because if authorities do the rounds they chance upon your ongoing operation, we will force to close those businesses, except they are critical government structure. If they are pharmacies, if there are clinics, if there are hospitals, or anything related to medical and food production and processing. But restaurants must be not allowed. And those who will be allowed to open are supermarket, refilling station, power energy, telecommunication, supplies, and facilities. The coronavirus pandemic is causing large-scale loss of life and serious human suffering globally. It is the large public health crisis in the living memory, which has also generated a major economic crisis with a halt in the production in affected countries, a collapse in consumption and confidence, and stock changes responding negatively to heightened uncertainties. Thank you.
Good day, my name is Gerald John D. Pasimio from SBN Trep 2C, Group Number 4, Small Businesses in the Philippines Affected by COVID-19 Pandemic. The novel coronavirus 2019, also known as COVID-19, has a big impact to our daily lives and also to many small businesses. As we all know, because of the protocols that ordered by the government, many businesses, establishments were forced to close to stop their operations. The government made these protocols to lessen the cases of COVID-19, but in order to do that, many establishments is affected, including also those small businesses in our country. As I've watched the video about the COVID-19 affecting the small businesses, Miss Lynn, one of the small businesses owner, she said that her business is very affected because of this pandemic. They are forcibly closed their business because of the safety protocols that the government ordered. The interviewer asked her if the government will give her a chance to loan to use for the everyday needs. She replied that she will going to accept the offer. Also, in other side of the video, which is the meeting about the help for those small businesses that closed during the pandemic, the 1 billion loan fund is not enough to cover all the small businesses problem. The 1 billion fund will be used for small businesses that are affected by the pandemic. The aim of this fund is to help those businesses to recover, but there's 10,000 potential borrowers. The government is not sure if these funds will cover all those help for the small businesses. As a recommendation during this time of pandemic, we should know how to become resourceful. Instead of selling it face to face, we should know how to sell it through online. We all know that this kind of platform or type of selling is very applicable now because of the safety protocols that ordered by the government. Also, we should follow all the protocols to shorten and lessen the time of this pandemic. That's all. Stay at home, keep safe.
Good day everyone, I'm Pepe Jerry from SBN Trip 2C, and today I will discussing my learning insight about the impact of COVID-19 to our economy. COVID-19 is not only a global pandemic or a health crisis, it is also severely affected the global economy and the financial markets. Significant reductions in income, a rise the unemployment, and disruptions of transportations, services, and manufacturing industries. Widespread lockdowns, social distancing, ban non-essential businesses, ban social gatherings, limiting the public transportations, and a lot of restrictions has turbocharged the changes to our economy that affect the technology, finance, and trade. The pandemic has brought in numerous changes to our economy, like from office work to work from home, from face-to-face classes to online classes. And working remotely is possible thanks to the widespread and fast adaptation of technology that has been existed before the pandemic but wasn't used its full potential. This digital push that's road taking place as a result of the pandemic will accelerated change to the economy. The most important thing is our government tried to think and adapt this kind of changes rather than standing in the way and seeing it as a scary force that must be stopped. But not everyone will benefit this kind of changes. Someone will left behind, especially the urban areas. Because of high transportation connectivity, globalization, urbanization, economic changes, and economic interconnectedness, it has been difficult and costly to contain the virus and mitigate the importation risks once the disease started to spread in multiple regions through international travels and other economic transactions. The pandemic has a direct impact on an income due to the premature death, workplace absenteeism, and the reductions of productivity slowing down due to the global supply chain disruptions and closures of many factories. As the disease are not likely to disappear in the near future, proactive international actions are required, not only to save lives, but also to protect the economic prosperity. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Angel Chris L. Puyo from SDN 2C. The business across the country closed down because of COVID-19. Many are already feeling the economic impact, and it's particularly hard on small businesses. In this video, the owner of the small business was Bowman Vale, who's a martial arts training area that offers programs for kids and helps support parents during school strikes. The owner shared how quickly closing its door became the only option. Before the pandemic came, the business was still operating and opening, but suddenly became the worst. COVID-19 forces the Ontario gym to close. That carries a huge financial impact, but there's an alternative they offer online, and something income comes in such as online training courses. I thought that many small businesses have been affected and completely transformed due to the pandemic, but it taught me that we must try everything that we can to get through these uncertain times. We must keep on going despite the challenges we're facing. The most important thing that I learned is to be optimistic. Always look for a brighter side and keep on praying, because I know that God is always in us. He will never leave us. Instead, He will guide us throughout our journey. Just be resilient and take the challenges as an opportunity to find new ways to grow, because I believe that we will have a victory at the end of this fight and are hopeful for the future. Thank you.